Under the way, of course, I have my counterparts to my left and my right, my analyst duo here in Pimp and Vendetta, and also Harold and Moses. Now, Moses has been here all day, so we're going to be a little bit lighter on him today. With that, though, it's been a pretty turbulent week for North American Counter-Strike. Let's take a look at some of that.
Blew me right out of the way. That's a great opening kill from Skadoodle. He's got to be worried about what comes next. Skadoodle holding down the bomb site. Taco's opened up the new route towards A. Again, it all turns around.
It's excellence from Stewie. He has just destroyed Complexity's dreams in this round.
What an incredible week of just absolute roster chaos across North America. And with that, ultimately, a lot of these storylines unfolding and being told for the first time. Well, let's try to dive into this one a little bit, guys. Where do we even want to begin?
I guess we start at the top, right? Top of the food chain, Cloud9, SK, former major champions, reigning major champions. Basically, yeah, a lot of oomph within those two lineups, and obviously we see some changes. Stewie making his way over to the Brazilian squad, which should be a fairly interesting venture, and Taco, one of the long-standing members of that SK lineup, saying his goodbyes.
Not saying his goodbyes, and that's the bittersweet part of it. However, we do have just a little bit of something prepared for you at home to understand exactly what it is that is North American Counter-Strike in this week of Counter.
This last week has been a messy one on the North American scene. It was revealed that the SK player Taco stepped back from the active roster. SK Gaming has been struggling ever since the disappointing result at IEM Katowice. And after bad performances for 2 months, Taco departed. That left a hole in the SK roster. A hole that earlier this week was filled by the Cloud9 player Stewie 2K.
Look at the time, there's 7 seconds to blow the bomb. They're trying to build pyramids, but there's no more play. Stewie's won the round. We're going to overtime.
The young American left his North American team, and suddenly Cloud9 was the team missing a player. And if that wasn't enough, Skadoodle chose to step back from the CSGO scene, leaving Cloud9 without another player that can do stuff like this.
Skadoodle, your turn, you're up, and he's already got the first. He goes, it's Nico in the smoke as well. He doesn't know it, but he goes back out, he's got the slow! Oh my God, how close is that? How fast is Skadoodle? And his turn to stand up, 3 in a row!
FNS has in the meantime replaced Stewie, but the former major winners still have an opening in the roster. And with that remark, we conclude the messy week in the North American Pro League.
What a completely different look for North America now across the entirety of the board. I believe it's things are getting a little spicy or dicey, one might say. Does that sound accurate to you guys?
Spicy and dicey?
Spicy and dicey.
I think dicey is definitely the right move. A lot of interesting roster moves in terms of like how they're going to shake out. Obviously, we saw both SK obviously and Cloud9 have had tremendous success with their previous lineups. So now we're getting into a bit of untested territory, uncharted waters, which is going to be interesting.
Well, this is the Game Flip pre-show. We're going to try to make sense of some of that, of course. Well, of course, we have to kind of look at the schedule. I believe that is why we're all here in the first place, right? We do have some Counter-Strike to watch today.
That is true.
And take it away, Pim.
I mean, we're starting off with Ghost going up against Liquid. Liquid have been one of the most stable teams over here in NA, and now all of a sudden also rumors surrounding their team, whatever they're going to replace somebody with the lovely guy Taco. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to fare today. Following up is Complexity Renegades. Complexity just lost their in-game leader FNS to Cloud9, so that's going to be a big loss for them. And then finishing it off is Splice against SK. First time we're going to see Stewie 2K in action with the Brazilian squad. So a lot of nice and fun storylines should be unfolding today.
You love it.
I love it.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love it.
Absolutely love it. Let's look at the standings, though. We've made our way to this far in the ESL Pro League. I believe we are on match day number 13. And what a time it has been here. Walk me through these standings here, Halvor. Energy at the top?
Yeah, energy at the top. Again, like this is something you would imagine maybe being like week 2 into Pro League, right? It's just, energy at the top and Luminosity up in there together with Optic and Rogue. But no, we're all halfway through the season already, and it hasn't necessarily panned out the way we expected it to do to start things off. But yeah, as you mentioned, energy at the top, playing extremely good Counter-Strike, obviously qualifying for IEM Sydney as well. Super impressive. Optic and Rogue still hanging in there. They do have, well, in the case of Rogue, have a couple of more games played than some of the, I guess, other guys lurking around that top 6 spot. then towards the end of the table, we got SK Gaming. Somewhat surprisingly, they're trying to make their return now with Stewie in the lineup, and Dignitas have yet to win a game. And I'm not sure how you feel about that, Pimp.
It's gonna happen sooner or later.
Sooner or later.
Hopes are high.
The law of averages, right? I think the more you do it, the more chance it has to happen.
Exactly.
Something like that. I'm not just quick maths. We'll figure it out later. We do have Liquid and Ghost, though. Now, you've got your number 2 team in Liquid, and you do have number 9 team in Ghost. Now, Ghost not known to be a formidable force, but for what it's worth, can we expect a fight out of them tonight?
Yeah, I think we can actually.
Yep.
And had you asked us that question in week 1, we would probably said no.
God,
and
no.
we did that. We saw them in the first week playing absolutely horrible Counter-Strike, maybe even worse than Dignitas in that sense. But after all, they picked it up. They got some impressive map wins, and all of a sudden, it's a team that you can rely on. I feel, or at least rely on to cause some chaos.
Yeah.
Because what they've been showing us so far in Pro League has been fairly decent, I'd say.
Yeah, it's the second they picked up VSA, really things turned around in a big way. Not necessarily off of the back of his, mad fragging or anything like that, but it just felt like the team just made more sense in a way. They kind of fit filled out their roles within the team in a very decent way, which is really cool to see. And we got to see a completely different brand of Counter-Strike from them, which has led to them getting, I think it was 4 wins within the span of 2 weeks, which definitely caught us off guard. And outside of just Pro League, we mentioned the Sydney qualifiers. They played versus Liquid in this qualifier as well. We also got to see them actually take a map off of Liquid, which is again really impressive stuff. So they're on the up and up trajectory-wise, probably one of the, I guess, more positive trending teams in Pro League.
And definitely unexpected as well. Nobody expected Ghost to be fighting. We talk a lot about fighting for relegation, especially within Rogue system. But Ghost is all of a sudden being a threat to teams like Rogue and the guys who are in the middle pack right now, because they pick up map wins, as you said, here and there. So definitely a team to look out for. And as you said, they already picked off 1 map against Liquid. So what's to stop them from doing the same thing today? And that would be a huge surprise.
Yeah, huge surprise. It's sort of like the wild card that is a player Twist. I believe this guy has something to show for himself within this Liquid lineup. And he's been able to do just that. I mean, it's been a long road for him up to this point. He's been one of the players that shine, came through the MDL, and here he is.
He had some very big shoes to fill, though, after certain Dane left the team. So he's been doing pretty well, I'd say. And definitely one of the definitely one of the guys that you have to look out for. Twist is a guy that we've been praising for a long time. He's 17 years old, I believe.
Yeah.
One of the best players in NA, without a doubt. Maybe even the best at some times. Definitely potential to become one of the best players in the world. When he matures, he gets better. He gets more experience. This is a guy to look out for. And definitely in Pro League, definitely in pretty much wherever they play right now, he's the top performer. And definitely one of those type of player, as far as I know, very calm in game, very collective in a way as well, where he's good at communicating, good at keeping his head down, which something NA teams need from time to time. So overall, it just seems like a very well-rounded player, and if he keeps up the trajectory as he's on right now, he's going to be one of the best in the world within no time.
That would actually be insane. He kind of did the opposite thing of what talents usually do, and that's hit the ground running. Normally you see...
We do that. You're right. It's true.
Because normally we don't have too many cases where somebody get brought into a top-tier team in the region and just immediately smashes that out of the park, but Twist didn't really need any sort of adaptation time. He didn't need to adjust to a higher level. He just kind of went with it and did extremely well for himself. And obviously, if you want to take the most obvious example of someone doing that, would be coldzera. Obviously, not necessarily a one-for-one comparison, but it's extremely promising because normally players are able to do that for as extended period of time as Twist has as well. That lends you to believe that he's going to be a perennial star player. And he's going to be a star player for many years to come. It's not just going to be the next 6 months and that's the last you hear of him. He's just going to be there until, the end of days.
The end of days. Why an interesting topic you have there. Of course, we're not going to talk about that. It's pretty dooming. However, we do have Ghost versus Liquid squaring off on Overpass, the first of 2 maps between these 2 teams. And as I have a tough time talking to you today, I'm not really sure what's going on here. It must have been something.
You sound like me all of a sudden.
Been too long in Copenhagen. Probably that's why. Getting influenced by the Danish.
I think I just spent too much time at Copenhagen Games, is what it was.
That could be.
Pretty close,
well,
right?
Did you spend more than 2 hours at the event?
Yeah.
You spent too much time then.
I spent some time over there. I think it's an interesting, cool system, so to say.
Oh, definitely.
That you can prove yourself, and ultimately the champion of the event was not the one anyone forecasted. But that is not what we're here to talk about. We're here to talk about Ghost and Liquid squaring off on Overpass. Now, Halvor, you've kind of prepared something here when it comes to Ghost on Overpass.
Yeah, we've cooked up a little something because Ghost have played an awful lot of Overpass, and Overpass is one of the maps we're going to see as well. And this is something that kind of lends you to see how they've improved as a team as well. This is one of their eco rounds versus Liquid as well. This is going to be Seb pushing aggressively towards water. He's going to be the sole player on the side of Ghost to actually try to find any sort of information. The rest of the team is committed to actually setting up in a bit of a VP line stack, as we've seen in the past. More and more teams are actually doing this during the ecos. Set up basically to catch whoever kind of slips in to try to find some information. It's going to get caught out immediately. And you can tell that there's a plan behind whatever Ghosts do, what they want to do in this round. After Seb gets the initial pick, falls back, plays it safely. Again, the kind of to lure Liquid into moving towards the A portion of the map and long, and you can see the rotations coming in from, or the flank coming in from the Ghost side as well, which is going to lend them or leave them with one kill. They kind of managed to split up the Liquid side as well, and Stanley, who's right under balloons, is going to be able to pick up Nitro as well to kind of end up the round, and it's just complete chaos for Liquid. Normally, Liquid are a team that is actually pretty good at dealing with anti-ecos, but in this kind of a scenario, you actually see them getting flustered because Ghosts are doing a good job of actually, first off, going as a group. Nobody ever splits off alone outside of Seb, which is his task. He's just going to find information. If he dies, fair enough. The rest of the guys hold on to the weapons for the next round. They don't actually need to move about anywhere. And when they actually move out from the restroom area, they do it as a unit. So they always have the trade potential. They can pick up weapons and so on. And because of all of this commotion that happens, Liquid gets spread out and become much easier to pick apart. And Ghosts actually end up winning that round. And they do actually win the remaining rounds on that CT side to pick up the game. And that's the one map they got versus Liquid in the Sydney qualifier. So if they can do more stuff like this in the upcoming game, then that should be a pretty cool affair to watch.
Pretty cool affair to watch is what I heard.
There you go.
Outstanding. Thanks for breaking it down there for us, Pimp. We do appreciate that. Again, we're going to Overpass here between Ghost and Liquid, and one player we kind of need to mention now would be VSA. He's come to this lineup very recently. There has been a little bit of restructuring over there. Talk to me about what this means for this Ghost lineup.
I mean, it definitely meant something because, as you said in the pregame show, we saw it right away. As soon as he got brought into the team, they started to pick up map wins. And it seems like a player who's able to do a lot of different stuff. Seems like very versatile in the way he plays. He's obviously a rifler at the majority of the time, but he's actually, doing well for his team. And he seems to be, as you said, he seems to be coming into this lineup with a plan. It seems like they got rid of the other guy and now got VSA in.
The other guy.
He's just the other guy in the scenario. But getting a guy in that gives you some sort of believing that this can actually work is great, because what we saw after the first week was basically just Waddell playing well, and that was it. That was the entire Team Ghost. You could call them Team Waddell in that sense. But after he came in, it seems like they are, as you just showcased, more like a team. They're more fluently. It seems like they have a plan what they're doing, and all of a sudden, all the players are starting to step up. Stanley, for the one matter as well, has been playing out of his mind, compared to what we would initially think of that guy. So it seems that he's not only doing good for himself, but also making his teammates better, and that's sometimes a very underrated characteristic to have as a player. If you're not only able to make yourself play better, but also able to have a positive influence on your teammates, that often goes a long way for less good teams like Ghost after all that.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest quality he brings to the team, actually, elevating everyone around him. You talked about it at the start of the season, how a lot of these fringe team needs to go from, making themselves play, for I guess a 5 out of 10 player to become a 7 out of 10 player, in the right moments, and how some players are able to enable that in others. He seems to be that guy for them. He also apparently was the in-game leader for Rise Nation, which was the team he came over from into Ghost for this season. And I'm assuming that's why we're seeing them play more as a team. They actually found some identity if he's doing the in-game leading for the squad now. And that's led to some good results. So hopefully that continues.
Of course, we saw this Rise Nation lineup at the Mountain Dew League, the surefire path to the Pro League here at ESL, of course. Now, with that said, I have to ask you guys where we stand on this one, because we did see that they had some creativity over on the Ghost side. They could conjure up something, but will it be enough to tackle this team Liquid here on Overpass?
I mean...
and before we get into that, we're waiting on you, Stanley, to join the server. Thank you.
Put on notice.
Just putting it out there.
There's a reason everyone hates you, Trace.
Oh my God! Please carry on.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Liquid are the favorites, no matter what. We saw them win against Overpass, or win against Liquid on Overpass, but I don't believe they're going to make the same mistake twice. That said, though, I think it's something we haven't talked too much about. There are some rumors concerning this Liquid lineup. Whatever Steel is going to be a part of that in the future, or it may be Taco, because there has been a few organizations out for the signing of Taco. So if that's the case, if that is the case, and Steel by now knows he's not going to be with Team Liquid, or at least feels a little bit unsecure, that could play into the whole morale of the team. And if there's one thing I can attest to for this Team Liquid lineup, morale is everything for this lineup. If it's not working within the ranks of the lineup, if the players are not feeling safe and comfortable, then these players are going from being a 10 out of 10 player to a 5 out of 10 player, and then all of a sudden Ghosts have a fairly decent chance of going up head to head against them. So it all depends, that's something we can only speculating about. We don't know it, but I do believe there's a silver lining here for Ghost that says if there is something going on within this Liquid lineup, I think we're going to see it directly translated into this game on Overpass now.
Well, enabling is the board I believe you guys used earlier, which, for all sense of it, every time I hear of enablers, it's never really a grand thing to be called. But in this case, being an enabler in a lineup is a great thing. And with that, I'm going to enable these commentary duo to come in and join us into the conversation. My goodness, we've missed you guys. Ghost and Liquid on Overpass. Talk to me a little bit about this, guys. Big picture, of course, big picture.
I think this is the only matchup where we have two teams that haven't yet made like a roster change in tonight's games. Because Liquid haven't officially done that whole deal with Taco.
Yeah.
That's room to go through.
I guess if you don't
made any changes.
If you don't count the other guy that we mentioned on Ghost, right? Coming in from our VSA coming in from the other guys.
Yeah.
Outside of that, but yeah,
I didn't count that.
for the better part,
I take it all back.
But I guess for the better part, this is one of the roster changes that actually made a positive impact. Nobody's been poached away from their team, which is kind of the story that goes around in North America right now, that people are just kind of getting grabbed away from their previous squad, which should lead them in a bit of a rougher state. But I think for Ghost, it's just been full up positive.
I think Liquid's going to be dancing. They're like hands down the #1 team in America, I think, right now.
Yeah, I mean,
Thoughts?
they have to be, right? Yeah, I mean, I've kind of been feeling sorry for Trace, right? Because, I mean, like, Cloud9...
What is it?
I mean,
my game?
You mean like CLG 2016?
Yeah,
well, that's what it's starting to look like.
It's starting to smell just like that, isn't it? But you don't have to feel bad for me, Harold. Honestly, I will probably always bleed the baby blue and white, but the truth is, it's been a rough time for them.
Got to get that checked out, Trace.
You got
Yes, that is a very curious roster swap, I think. I woke up and I was like, what the hell has just happened? I had gotten off an airplane. I had slept maybe like an hour and a half, woke up to that news, and I was like, well, I invented time travel. CLG 2015's back.
Yeah.
I'm kind of excited to see how it looks, though. I mean, I think FNS did some good stuff with Complexity, and now he's got like a more formidable squad, right, to boss around in that regard.
I mean, that's my problem, though, because I don't feel Evanes did enough with Complexity to actually deserve... I wouldn't say, like, deserve the chance, but he didn't really do anything in particular that would make you feel that he's the obvious pick to go into Cloud9. It was, like, sort of a surprise for a lot of us. And had he done, like, a little bit better with Complexity, has he enabled, like, guys like PTR or Def or whatever those guys are, for whatever those guys are called. You know, that would have been the other guys. All the other guys. But that would have been great, but I don't feel we saw what FNS actually did with CLG translating into Complexity. So now he gets sort of like a second chance in that sense to show it with some better players, and that should be obviously good for him, but there's probably other guys out there that you could have picked as well.
I just think it's such a very different direction to go for Cloud9 than what they built their initial success on. I think also Tarek, people talk about, FNS coming in, he's going to take over in-game leading. That's going to release Tarek of his duties. I think Tarek did better as an in-game leader for himself than what he did when he wasn't.
Agree.
So at that point, do you get a slumping Tarek or not? That's the big question for me.
A slumping Tarek is certainly not the side of Tarek that we'd like to see, but what we are going to do is jump into Ghost and Liquid on Overpass, and to do that will be these two to my right. Take it away, fellas.
Yes, thank you. We are going to see Ghost taking on Team Liquid. That's going to be a riot.
I can't wait. This is one of the games I've been looking forward to seeing, this week.
Is it?
Yeah.
What else have you been? What have you been looking forward to tomorrow? What's your favorite matchup of tomorrow's day?
I mean, there's just so many because I'm also doing the EU stuff tomorrow.
Oh, you're doing the double shift. I'm on that train right now. It's not fun.
I know. Well, you still seem fine.
That's
Perhaps, the look in your eye that was once kind of happiness is gone.
Yeah, the light is put out for sure. But yeah, certainly there's going to be some interesting games tonight. And this one, I think the big thing is just Liquid's, they're second, I think, after those standings. NRG's in first place, Liquid at second. I think for them, it's just kind of maintain the status quo. Just this is one of those games where you'd expect them. This is just one where they're going to win. And just make sure you don't drop the ball down the stretch. Because as much as the standings, look good for them still, we have Cloud9 knocking right outside the door. They've kind of rebounded from a slow start. SK is definitely going to be making a late run for the playoffs as well. So you don't want to put yourself in a situation, if you're Team Liquid, where you kind of drop the ball and find yourself looking at the outside in. Because we know with Stewie coming in, SK only has, I think, 10 games. A lot of the teams are sitting up at 14, 15 games played, 16 games played. They're going to catch up to a lot of these squads that have already played out most of their season.
Yeah, I mean, SK being right down at the bottom, though, that is always like, that's really odd. I'm hoping, now with bringing Stewie in, we're going to see that change, as you say. I mean, I don't really think we were too worried about that anyway, but we're getting into this one, Liquid versus Ghost here on Overpass, and it looks like already Nitro's going to try peeking out over into middle, and there are a couple of players there, but no one peeking into it just yet. You've got Wardell and Visa there, along with Seb. down here towards this B-bomb site. And he's got a man up on top of his head in the form of Stanley. All right, now Ghost, they're just kind of chilling out, taking things very, very slowly, waiting to see if Liquid try their hand at any aggression anywhere on the map. They haven't shown anything either. They're going to start to peek in towards B. And Naf might, if he goes peeking around, he might get the information there's players here. But no, right now Liquid have no clue as to what's going on.
Yeah, everything's been silent. And if I remember correctly as well, this Ghost team actually had been performing very, very well before we took that 1 week break. They'd actually, if I recall correctly, can think back that far, impressed me. Especially, we saw an Overpass game later on, and ooh, nice shot from Elige. Wardell goes down. All that's left is this B hit. Visa has a smoke flash. They're coming out now, so a couple more seconds. Here's the check of the corner. Naf is up top. He's got to drop down. Can't win that fight. Awkward situation, and Twist can't recover either. They pulled enough players over towards A, and it's all Ghost. This has been a brilliant pistol round from them. Looked dicey with the initial kill going down, but they have a plant in a 3-on-2.
Yeah, Elige, he's already looked very, very good in this pistol round. He's going to start to creep on in. And there is a man down beneath heaven. That's going to be Seb, who lies in wait. He's already gone ahead and taken 2 of the Liquid players down with him. Can he find any more as Elige flashes on over? He has got a kit as well to work with. Nitro's now coming in on the backstab. Elige has gone down, and now it all falls onto Nitro, but he gets himself a second, and maybe he wants to make it 3. He has to go toe-to-toe with Seb. Time is ticked so low, and Seb's going to win it out of 4K at the end. And just like that, Ghost Gaming, they managed to find themselves the pistol around here. They're looking to try and get off to a good start.
Yeah, Nitro in a huge disadvantage in that 1-on-1 because he also had to pick up the kit due to that long flank. A lot of time was eaten off the bomb, and he had to put himself in a position to get that kill and pick up the kit all in the same movement and just couldn't find it on the ground. So really tough to manage. Runs out of bullets at the end. Nice opening from Ghost. Molotov out to prevent any kind of fast pushes over towards short. Spam coming through as well. Nitro eats some nade damage and tries to tag a player or 2 up and not able to do it. SMG on Wardell here. He's actually continuing to push forward, and there goes Elige. Long control going to go the way of Ghost. No one else from Liquid here to back this up. That was one of the scouts taken away. Still Naf in the stairs. And Ghost can choose to slow this down. Going to clear things out. This is the danger man, though. If Naf can do some work in this stairwell, he's got a couple. He's got one behind him, just kind of holding him pinned down on the staircase. Gonna go for that peek and just playing it patiently, not showing off that he's there. I think that spotted him. Gonna not be able to find that kill. Good frag from Sabrosa. Good route. Twist gets 1, surely not 2. And this round's essentially all over for Team Liquid. They're gonna take a loss here. It's gonna be 2-0.
Yeah, Nitro is the last hope there with the scout. As he goes down, it's all onto Steel, and Steel will not last long once Seb finds him. Ghost going to be on to that second round. And yeah, I mean, the week before we took that break, just last week, yeah, Ghost Gaming, they looked good. And if I recall, they didn't actually have any wins up until then, I don't think. I mean, it was like a very, very sudden improvement from these guys. And Overpass was kind of one of their better maps. So I do think this is one where Liquid have to be very, very careful on, because you kind of go into it expecting Liquid to just run over Ghost. And I really don't think that's the case. As, you know, they have been warming up, and the second, you know, we've seen them, when they get the momentum going behind them, they can be a real beast to try and contend with. So this time they get the B-bomb site entirely for free. Liquid, they've stacked over in mid, and they won't find anything on the back of that. Wardell's going to get so much ground here that Liquid probably won't even want to go in for rotations. They're just going to look to try and hide away. Maybe take a gun off of the players that do go hunting. You don't want to risk giving too much away of these SMGs. So Ghost's going to be able to find a third round here. They could convert the 2 on the back of the pistol.
Yeah, I mean, it's just been solid from Ghost. I mean, that's the big thing, is just getting the easy work done, not dropping the ball in too many different scenarios. So we'll see. And remember, Team Liquid, that investment in the second round is actually a pretty big deal. They're going to be running low on nades, and these are some very nice kills to find right at the end. Galil picked up by Steel. He's going to use that to try and take away more weapons, not able to complete that kill onto Visa. And that Molotov going to force him back towards T-spawn. So they can go salvage that Galil. And actually, it might not be the worst thing in the world to grab that and actually use it, although they didn't get there in time. But use that SMG maybe on Naf and just use it to get the extra nades. That's where they're going to be hurting. Twist only with 1 smoke. Naf is going to keep the SMG. He's got a full kit of nades. He's also got a kit. And that SMG is going to help him keep 2,200 in the bank. perhaps some extra money on the next buy. He'll be able to drop an AWP over if they can't win this one. It looks like Ghost right out of spawn calling for the B hit. Maybe a rush, maybe just a very fast and early execute. We'll have to see. Nade messed up by Naf. Running through the Molotov as well. That's Stanley's out in the open. There's a player with a knife in his hands. Good recovery from Steel and a second frag from him. Now he's got to fight his way out of the flames. That's just too much to handle. Twist still alive, finds one. He's got to swing out for more, and he gets it. Double kills abound for Team Liquid as they hold on to the bomb site. Steel and Twist putting in the work, and Wardell nowhere to go. He's blocked in. Ghost trying to take advantage of low nades, not able to do it.
Yeah, and I mean, that looked a little bit sloppy there as well from Wardell, kind of getting caught out a few times with the positioning. I think he was given 3 chances to actually find the trade onto the man in the site. But, you know, a good round from Liquid nonetheless. Fantastic recovery because it was Ghost who found the opening frags there in that round. So now they'll be turning their attention over here in towards middle. They brought up once again. Money wasn't too much of an issue for them. Well, no, they have put everything into this round. And Elige, he's gone aggressively in through long, and Nitro is going to be joining him over in Party in the meantime as well. You've got Naf down in Connector. A much more aggressive hold from Liquid this time over towards this mid and Connector area of the map. Flash goes through, now they spot Nitro, and Naf falls in Connector. Nitro is suddenly the only man left. Elige has gone down, but Nitro, another double kill in from Liquid to try and pull this round back. And Steel is actually going to go to test the waters over at short, but he does come to regret that. As now it's all on Twist, 1 versus 3. And Ghost, they just have to play the man advantage here.
He's almost got to book it, though. He can't be too cautious about his footsteps. He's trying to hear what's coming, and now he realizes it, and he's not going to be there in time. And now, because they're so close to the site, he's got to be silent as well. So no chance of him getting any kind of advanced position to try and pick one off before the bomb goes down. This is going to be a very difficult 1 versus 3. He's going to try and make it work. See if he can get an early kill, and actually, Wardell's ready for that angle. Spots him out, immediate headshot. 4-1 for Ghost. Slow start on the CT side for Team Liquid, and they're probably going to choose to save one. Nitro and Elige, actually no, they're going to buy up here. Nitro gets the op no armor, Elige with an M4, and investment into the UMP and a couple CZs, so pretty desperate situation to be in early on for Team Liquid.
Yeah, I mean, now I'm curious to see if this force buy they've gone for can pan out. Nitro's got himself the AWP. Lee's already up through Party, and actually, I'm not sure they have the read on this. He's going to start to push on in. They have a man holding. Nitro's, I mean, down the sights in mid with the AWP as well, just to add that much more pressure to try and trade. Lee slips by, but a missed spray does manage to recover. Stanley's gone down, and now they try to trade, and this is where Nitro comes bouncing in. But right now, it's all Elige. He takes a second. And he's still alive. He does lose Nitro, but Twist and Steel in the meantime pick up 2 more, and Elige slams down the gauntlet over in mid. Saves the AWP as well. And just like that, Liquid, they find themselves a second round on the back of the force.
Yeah, thankfully, Elige has a wonderful round. 3 kills, because Nitro missed a couple sitters as he transitions over to try and bail Elige out, but not able to connect with some of those shots. He'll have a second chance with the AWP in this round, and armor as well behind it. And now the tides kind of turn. It's a forced investment from Ghost as well. They only have an AK and an AWP, 2 CZs and a P250 next to that. And they're the ones on the back foot in terms of what they can fight with. Nitro, again, mid with the AWP. He's backed away early, but there's long presence. They're just going to swing out wide. They're going to take this fight. Good frag from Twist, and the pistol from Visa just not doing enough. Nitro's watching behind him, traded off by Wardell with the op, but great response. Quick response from Twist turning around. Seb, the only one left. The aggression out towards Fountain from Team Liquid, setting the pace, setting the tone early on for this defense.
Yeah, now for Ghost, they just have to go ahead and take one on the chin, go for the eco here into this round. You imagine it's going to be Liquid finding themselves a 4th unless something goes disastrously wrong. Visa even picking up armor, but nothing to accompany it. No weapon, so a Glock and armor, not really something we're too used to seeing. Nitro's going to go to find one, but the pistols might be able to find success here. They're going to go charging in, and Wardell has picked that up. That's an AWP to work with. Naf going to come in and try to slip the knife in the back of this mid-offensive, but he does get caught out. Naf going to go down. The Glocks claim another. Luckily enough, the cleanup crew is in, and Steel is quick to get Liquid back into this one. Wardell, now with this AWP, he could still do damage, though. He's a man who we normally say has to step up for Ghost. 1 versus 3 and has the AWP in hand, his weapon of choice. Twist is homing down the angle, and just like that, Liquid going to be onto a 4th round. They managed to keep 3 alive.
An awkward sequence from Naf. He had the great read, the very fast flank, picked up the aggression when Nitro went down to try and catch him off guard very quickly. Just he got discombobulated by the steps to the picnic benches. They're able to recover nicely though. AWP picked up for Naf, so a double AWP setup for the CT side. And again, I mean, this is not a full investment from Ghost. They do 3 CZs, P250, and 1 AK-47 on Stanley. Here comes that fast play towards the B bomb site, almost identical to the first time they did it. This time there's a boost up though, and Naf, he gets the read on the flashbang, but they're already close up. They've already beat him to the line, and he's got to do more. Twist still alive, and he's holding it down, and Naf almost able to get that 3rd kill. He's going to go back for it with low HP. Wardell out in the open, and there goes Twist. So a lot of economy being eaten away for Team Liquid, but Elige is here to recover. And that round was on a knife's edge. I don't think they can afford a double AWP. Oh, actually, Steel can drop one over if that's the route they want to go. And indeed it is. Well, someone dropped one over. It wasn't Steel. It was Twist, it looks like.
Yeah, double set up back out. And, yeah, I mean, that boost down onwards B, something that we see quite a lot when it comes to those B rushes. It can either kind of make or break your defense, especially if you miss that first shot with the AWP.
I think it's because he was hiding to play counter flash, and he was just going to peek up and miss the timing. Misses the timing there as well. Wardell finds him another flashbang to ruin Nitro's vision. And all of a sudden, Elige is very alone in danger.
Yeah, he's in a very awkward spot here, Elige. He kind of has to just stick around. You know, mid's fallen, Nitro's gone down. For all he knows, Ghost could be all over it. Now, Twist going to pick up Seb there. So that's quite handy. That's provided Elige a way out. You can see he's going to go out and find Sabrosa and now knows that he's got control down here towards short. And suddenly it turns into a very good round for Liquid early on. Naf is still fairly dangerously close in mid. Wants to watch out as there are players coming his way. There's also Visa heading down the long angle.
You're scared for Naf here. He doesn't need to be this aggressive. Although Twist is here now to help him out, and actually Elige has rotated as well because Steel's on the big flank, so they have the information of what's coming. They can get an early spot, they can get a couple early shots off on it. The question for Ghost is, how long do they have until Steel is able to pounce? Going over towards Picnic, and there's going to be the kill. Nice headshot onto Stanley. Now they can wrap around towards Long as he's no other presence, and the clock is ticking on this, not just the round, but in how much room they have to work with, and it's all gone wrong for Ghost. A nice idea gets shut down. The no-scope from Naf as the exclamation point. 6-4 as Team Liquid have recovered nicely.
Yeah, and I mean, now a pause called in. That's going to be for Ghost, and I think, you know, very well-earned pause from them. They found the pistol, they found the anti-eco. Since then, they've only got 1 in the rifle rounds. In Liquid, they have 6. So, they have to try and figure something out. Kind of imagine they're kicking themselves a bit after that previous round as well, because they had a good advantage early on. They were able to find Nitro, if you recall, Wardell over in mid on the back of that flash. And then they kind of had Elige into a corner as well, but he was able to elude them. And, well, now they've gone for the partial buy into this round. $2,000 or so left across the board. A little bit more than that, so they do have a decent buy into the next round. They're going to go rushing out mid once again, and they were able to catch Nitro off guard here last time. This time it's Elige. He's tagged down low and falls at the first hurdle. Suddenly, the pressure is on inside this A bomb site. Twist going to be gifted 1 for free. Nitro has to take this fight over along. In the meantime, he's going to get caught out. Wardell able to pick that up. Now it's Twist inside the site. Somehow still alive. He's peeking over the top of the smoke and he shuts down 1. Not going to find the bomb planter. 2-on-2 though, and Twist's going to go down. Suddenly it's all onto Steel. And it was his flank in the previous round that locked it in for them. This time it has to do all that and more. Familiar territory for him. Flanking on in. Shoots Visa in the back, and now it's Sabrosa 1v1. AWP in hand, 10 HP to his name. 1 shot for either player, and the first shot missed for Sabrosa. Now leaves the pressure on, and that nade could have ended everything, but Steel going to take the fight, and he wins it out. So Liquid will be on to a 7th round. Comes down to the wire, but they managed to lock it in.
Yeah, these rounds from Ghost where they go that fast, like you said, it caught Nitro off earlier. It caught him off guard because they ran through a Molotov. This time, they're using their own smokes as cover, right? They're throwing that standard smoke just to block off the main choke point in bathrooms where the Opera usually stands initially, and they run right through it. They run through the smoke on stairs as well, so the Opera just takes a shot but never actually sees anything, and before he can really react, they're already on top of him. It's unconventional, obviously, because if there's just an M4 on the other side of the smoke, they just die and they get slaughtered. But it's worked out pretty well for Ghost a couple different times. And the aggression from Team Liquid continues, although this time it's not overwhelming. They're not pushing all the way towards Fountain. They're not pushing all the way to peek towards Longo. That may come in. Stanley's watching it for the moment. No flashbangs yet, and here it comes, the wide peek. Good trade. Stanley able to get the second as well. That's a huge exchange. He is brought down to 4 HP, but mission accomplished, and Sabrosa using a very narrow angle to spot for any pushes in danger stairs.
Yeah, and Ghost, I mean, they've got that man advantage. They have to maintain it, though, and they've really struggled with that. This round is no exception. Seb going to be found over there towards B, and just like that, we're back in with 3-on-3. That massive advantage the Ghost had to work so hard to get has now slipped through their fingers, and suddenly
these are the exchanges they're losing out, and that's causing them to bleed away some of these rounds later on. Is these kind of mid-round peaks and aggression from Team Liquid on the CT side? They don't want to sit around and be executed on. They want to know what's coming, and it seems like Ghosts, you know, they are spread out in kind of a default. One player just watching for the pushes and just not able to handle the kind of double peaks that are coming out, and therefore Liquid's finding the advantages when they need them.
His twist, they're about to come his way. He gets caught with a flash out, and actually, that is now their foot very much in the door here. But that's not enough. They're not content with just that. They want to go ahead and get all the way through, so they get themselves the bomb down. The nades start to rain in, and actually, it's going to find Stanley. So put it back in an even scenario. Steele's able to get up close in the side, but he has no support from Naf. He has to try and make this play on his own till Naf gets here. Steele, he's gone ahead and dropped Wardell, leaving it on Sabrosa. And he gets caught off guard, pushing in through short. Naf in with the AWP, able to find him, and just like that, Liquid will be on to an 8th round. They managed to retake that site in a 2-on-3. So once again, Liquid might have been at the man disadvantage, but they're able to find themselves the round, and things are looking quite problematic now for Ghost.
What is this, 7 in a row now? It was 4-1, correct? I think when Team Liquid had kind of an AWP and an M4 buy with 3 pistols, so it's been 7 straight for Team Liquid. This is very nice. Ghost has no answer. That round you feel should have been in their favor. A 3-on-2. Obviously unfortunate for them that the nade comes in and gets that kills that third player, so it turns into a 2-on-2, and then Wardell just gets caught out in the open with some aggressiveness from Nath and retaking that bomb site. Really well done from Team Liquid. These rounds, they're grinding them though, so the money for Team Liquid isn't great. It's not building up at any kind of massive level, so still an opportunity for Ghost. Not a whole lot of rounds left, just 3 rounds and a half. But if they're able to finally break this, which, you know, they might have at least an easier last round if they can win these next 2.
Yeah, but once again, Liquid again with the aggression. They're over in mid, and Twist, he's already slept by. This time they do check it. Now Nitro has a tall order ahead of him. He tries to step up, and actually that nade from Elige has saved his life. Elige's done it again. Elige is his guardian angel at this point as he doubles down over towards the party. He is going off right now. And Nitro, he is going to be sweating bullets. He's able to escape against overwhelming odds. 3 HP and 2 players coming his way. Bailed out twice by Elige. Just like that, Wardell and Seb left 2-on-4. Minute and 10 seconds, though. 2 players tagged low. This is still possible.
We probably haven't given it enough attention, but I mean, Elige is having a phenomenal game. From early on, the triple spray down with some aggression at Fountain. He's had a couple very nice shots in similar positions, and look at Seb, not prepared for this push at all. Knife out, trying to peek over, not going to work in his favor. Wardell is all alone. AWP 1 versus 4. Now the tagged players, it doesn't even really matter anymore. 40 seconds left, and Naf choosing not to push behind the Opper. And Wardell might be starting to think about an escape route. They're out to go save that weapon. Steele again is on a flank. He's going to be coming up the danger stairs or up the ladder. Hasn't made his decision yet. I don't know if Wardell is going to be clearing this corner quite as intensely as he'd like. A 9th for Team Liquid. Dominating on this CT side. The double op setup is back as well.
Yeah, I mean, even this double AWP has been very, very good for Liquid. You know, I mean, we've kind of had... Nitro's missed a few shots here and there, but he's been bailed out by the team, you know, whenever he has. And Naf has looked good with his AWP down towards that B-bomb site. And this double AWP presence has been something that Ghost have somewhat struggled with. They're going to be sending Seb down here towards B, along with Sabrosa. Try and scout things out early on. Liquid find out Seb here at short, and there's Naf straight away to shut him down. He starts to emerge, and he'll very quickly come to regret that decision. There is actually a Liege close, and Visa thinks he's cleared it, which he has not.
Yeah, he did. He thinks he cleared it all the way, and that might give Liege the opportunity to pounce behind this. He heard like the pre-fire one-shot go off, so he's feeling a bit bold. That's maybe an inexperienced mistake from Visa, although he is coming back, and he could actually manage to catch a Liege out. This is going to be awkward. He's going to pull his gun out, and Liege notices it right at the right moment, and that's the AWP down. That's unfortunate timing for Visa. Perhaps a little bit of karma, some punishment coming his way for not doing his due diligence and clearing out the corner. Although, to be fair, even if he had, Nitro was at the long range with the AWP, so he might have just gone down earlier. 10-4, as Liquid are still in the throes of a massive run.
Yeah, and personally, I mean, I'm very happy with this from Liquid right now. You know, it's kind of been just utter...
That is a team effort as well. Elysian Twist at 13, and then the other three are at 11.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's pulling their weight, and it is good to see because, yeah, it's been kind of insanity right now within the NA roster side of things. Liquid, they've remained consistent, and they look to try and show the benefit of that, but Nitro, he's been tagged low. Another missed shot. Oh, they've got running by him. Nitro, how's he still alive? What is going on? Finally, he goes down. That was a very, very weird push. How he was able to stay so close for so long, I don't know. And so many players have been tagged low for Ghost. This isn't going to be an easy hold. They've already lost Sabrosa, and... well, now the retake is on. Liquid with 3 players here already knocking on their door. The utility has been eroded on down for Ghost and Twist. He's opened up. Stanley's going to answer back, and now it's a Liege and Naf to try and lock this round in. It all falls onto Naf. 1v2. Bomb planted out in the open, and Seb's going to find him. Ghost will be on to a 5th round. And you know, sometimes you have to run with the enemy to understand them.
That was so incredibly awkward. So much damage done by the Molotov. I think the one reason why Ghost wins that round is all of Team Liquid seem to be on the flank. Those last 3 players all coming from the T side of the map. So no one with an M4 was over towards Graffiti, was in water whatsoever to take advantage of all the low HP. So Ghost wins the pistol, only gets 5 rounds. I think that was a 9-0 run for Team Liquid from 4-1 to 10-4. Or I guess 4-1 to 4-10 would be the best way to put it. And now switching over, Ghost is going to be on the defensive side. They're going to be on the CT side of things. Another pistol round would be great for them.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely would. It's the only reason they kind of have a respectable scoreline here in the second half. So they would love to find the pistol around here. They are foaming at the mouth at the idea of finding a pistol around here. And Liquid, they might just get B entirely for free. The timing is perfect for them. They are, I was going to say they get everyone by, but no, they don't. Wardell and Seb able to shut down 2. And suddenly, Steel's gone aggressive here. He has to win this fight out versus Seb. He's in a tricky spot. No one's actually nearby to help out. Nitro only pulls 1 back, and Steel loses that fight. Suddenly, it's all onto Twist. He won't even be able to get the bomb down here. There's players coming in from all sides, and Wardell there to finish him off. So Ghost are on to a 6th. And that's the second pistol round picked up for them. They're going to be feeling good about that, as now they have the opportunity to at least pull this back to an 8-10 at scoreline, which is, you know, 100 times better than where they were before. Not actually, by the way. You know,
yeah,
it's not quick maths because
no, it's a little bit of hyperbole.
Yeah.
Yep. We got you. We got you. Well, investment, no armor, some deagles, 4 deagles picked up for the Team Liquid side. 1 CZ on Steel, and that nade comes out, and Steel dodges it right at the last moment. But the deagles are working their way all up picnic at the moment towards bathrooms. And if you just get 1 or 2 headshots of these deags, everything can open up. I think Nitro might have been spotted. You saw the readjustment of Sabrosa into a different position. No damage dealt just yet. Liquid hoping someone from Ghost is going to make the mistake of walking around a corner, give him a free kill. It's a flashbang out towards long. Sabrosa's gotten to the left side, that corner that can be so difficult to clear. He's got a flashbang out as well. His close range now that Wardell is in is not the ideal. It's not ideal for the Deagle. He's going to clear that corner, not able to react in time. Next up, one more player. Wardell just keeps spraying at the choke point, finds another head on Twist. Now reloading, cannot recover in time for the CZ, but I think the damage might be done. You have 2 players still here at the A-bomb site, 2 players flanking up danger stairs, and Steel is about to go down for free. That's the bomb as well. So the remaining Deagles have to readjust to try and take some of these guns away, try and get a couple kills, and that is a great shot from Nitro. Just the stutter step into a headshot. 25 seconds on the clock, and at this point for Liquid, you're just thinking 1 or 2 more kills would be beautiful. But they do have to die. That's one thing that they got to keep in mind. With the clock dwindling, they do need to make sure they actually fall in this round.
Yeah, and that's why you just see them go running into the gun of Seb.
Yeah.
They have to go down, and they will. They embrace the opportunity to go into Seb, just like that. A 7th round locked in now for Ghost. And still decent damage found by Liquid there towards the end. It went from being, what looked like it was going to be a very, very clean-cut round for Ghost to one that was brought back a lot closer. And this round for Liquid just going to be a flat eco. They have 2 flashbangs, a couple of P250s, Deagle actually on Twist. They are going to try and go for something. They're going to have a start to make their way out in towards mid. The flash does go over, but Ghost aren't going to peek in the back of it. Sabrosa and Wardell here in Connector. That is the perfect counter to this play. Just like that, it's only Nitro left. He'll get finished off by Wardell. A confidence-boosting round there for the AWPer on Ghost. Didn't really have the time of his life early on in the first half, but he's certainly starting to recover here, both in the latter stages of that first half and now in the second. And now he's got the AWP out. Let's see if he can continue that recent run of good form that we're so used to seeing. He'll be taking it down here towards B.
Ooh, a spam lineup. All right. Misses the timing. Dangerous. He's very exposed. Liquid running the same 4th round that the Ghost did. Is just kind of a walk towards this B bomb set. One flashbang over that could catch Stanley off. He gets the first kill. Cannot recover. Nap with low HP, and Seb not able to contain him as they stream around. Now here's the AWPer. Wardell into the action. He's given him a 1-man advantage as this bomb gets planted. No flank coming in for Team Liquid, and only 3 flashbangs for them to use. Wardell spots him jumping out of the bomb site, though, so they have knowledge of where Steel has gone. And he has to keep his mind on this upper balcony. Flashbang streaming over. Now all 3 going to kind of start to trickle in. Great kill from Steel. Needs to build upon it. Not able to do it. Twist in a 1-on-1, and it's against Wardell. The AWP could ring true, but the Deagle's out for the moment. Twist low HP, and Wardell still pressing the issue, and he's going to find it right at the end. Twist never really able to get a good read on where Wardell was going. And the defuse, plenty of time for it. It's going to be a 9th for Ghost, so it was a costly win, but a win nonetheless.
Yeah, bomb plant there means Liquid can afford to buy up into this round regardless. And let's not forget, in that first half, it was a similar sort of pattern with Ghost picking up one of the first rifle rounds. I think it was actually the second that they managed to get, but they're not out of the woods just yet. The buy comes in for Liquid once more, and they're going to have to turn their attention this time into Connector. 3 players here early on, and there's actually 2 for Ghost, so it's going to be the big brawl down in Connector. The one that we have become quite frightful of. Sabrosa is the first to leave up the trade. Visa gets one more. It's 2 for 2 down in Connector, and just like that, Liquid, they're taking control.
They don't have a lot of utility, though. It's not the worst thing in a 3-on-3 in this situation, but the tough part is the player they're going to be attacking at this A bomb site is Wardell with the AWP. So not a lot to make him feel uncomfortable, especially if they decide to go towards long A. So really, really long route to be going. The nice thing is it's only Wardell here. At the moment, Seb and Stanley have just cleared out short sewers. One can come up the staircase. This flashbang has got to work perfectly. Wardell inside the bomb site. They don't have a lot of utility for those choke points to hold all the rotations at bay. Missed shot. That might spell the end. Wardell, he hits that one. A great flick on a NAF, but too many players. Nitro there with the quickness to trade, and the bomb is going to get planted. Although Stanley, he could find the timing. There's the shot from Seb with 1 kill, and Nitro, awkward position. He handles it, tapping away. 1 more to go for. Half HP for Nitro, peeking out. He knows exactly where Seb is. Patience for Nitro as he waits and he finds the headshot. A really brilliant 1-on-2 for Nitro. 2 different angles to deal with. And it goes down perfectly, 11-9.
Yeah, no, that's just fantastic from Nitro to win that out. You know, when he wins that first duel versus Stanley, you kind of start to feel it. You know, they lose the crossfire. Nitro hits a nice tap onto him as well. And he's able to go ahead and steal that first round for Liquid just like that, 11-9. And now the Force Buy comes out for Ghost. And this is very, very similar to what we saw in the first half. They're going to be going into this with less than ideal buy. Already, Twist able to pick up the first. Sabrosa doesn't stand the test of time. Beast is desperately looking to try and retrieve the rifle, but through the smoke, Elige finishes him off. And Wardell, does he decide to stick around? He peeks on into that to try and find something on the timing. Now gets out of there. 3-on-5 though, and Liquid setting up to make their way down in towards the speed bomb site. Twists is at least picked up over here at long. Now Liquid just going to go charging into this B-bomb site in the knowledge that at least, you know, one of these players is over at long with the AWP. They've gotten out into B, they've cleared it all out, and now Seb has to try and make a stand as Steal comes his way. That's given away a man advantage. But Elige is quick to steal it back.
Good nade from Seb to make it a 2-on-2. Bomb is still ticking away. Wardell going to try and make his way in, but Seb can't really do much. They've forced Naf into the smoke, but he wins that fight anyways. Wardell now trying to chase him down. Can't get there in time. Both players at the bomb site, and Wardell has no idea. Double kill for Naf, double kill for Elige. And that might just be it, because Ghost is out of money. They're going to have to save at least one round before they can get rifles back on the board, and Team Liquid have taken the reins of this match at the exact right opportunity, or excuse me, the exact right moment.
Yeah, I mean, for Ghost, it's kind of like, you know, maybe slipping into old habits a bit, because we used to see early on, it was kind of like the Wardell and Seb show. And then if you recall, you know, in the week before we had the break, it was, you know, a good performance from kind of everyone across the team. Like we saw Sabrosa starting to step into his own. Stanley had some good performance as well. Visa seemed to kind of provide that support element as well to these guys. And now it feels like, once again, we're kind of relying on Wardell and Seb to really get the job done. Sabrosa really struggling. I think he's only on like, what, 9 kills thus far, and then you compare that to Wardell, who he was kind of going toe-to-toe with in the week prior.
This could be a very deadly round, though, for Team Liquid if they're not careful. All 5 players in bathrooms. Elige going to turn the corner, going to spot a lot more than he expected to. Thankfully, Naf with the MAC-10 did some work, and Nitro controls the spray so well. So danger averted for Team Liquid. And yeah, Seb at 19, Wardell at 25. 25 leads the server. The tough part is, when you look over at the Team Liquid side of things, there's no spread on the kill count. All 5 players just doing a very, very solid job. Some big impactful rounds, but all keeping pace. And when you have 5 players like that, all within, you know, 3 kills of each other, just one player lighting up the scoreboard isn't necessarily going to do enough. Ghost needs perhaps even a 3rd player to provide more impact. One of the last solid buys they may have in this game, 9-13, as Ghost takes the time out to talk it over. After this, if you get to 9-14, you just kind of have to put rounds on the board. So you're scrapping together whatever you can. Certainly Wardell on the AWP is going to be a priority.
I mean, I always kind of wonder, right, is someone like Wardell perhaps someone who a team like, I mean, maybe this is a bit ambitious, right, but they just picked up FNS, so why not? Maybe a team like Cloud9 could even be looking at as, because I mean, I kind of had like Nifty pegged as someone they would really want to go for, right, to bring that like AWPing and IGL aspect, and
yeah,
then they get FNS, so they've kind of sorted out the IGL role. You know, what other AWPers could they really look to?
I mean, I've said this in a tweet. I think the tough part for Cloud9 in this scenario is when you get to this kind of point in where we are in esports, it's no longer just look at the other teams and pick someone up. You also have to really factor in how much it's going to cost to buy him out of the contract. Don't know Wardell's deal. I don't even know. Wardell hasn't even really been to a event quite yet. I think he's still a little bit too green to look at as like one of the top picks for that kind of role, even though he has shown some promise. I think teams are going to want to see a bit more of him before they make that dedicated pick. Good stack out towards long, twists with the trade with the AWP, and he's just got to back off that fight. He's got to wait for his teammates. Actually, no, he just flashes over and goes for it. The bomb was down there. But costly map control for Team Liquid. They're in a 3-on-4.
Yeah, first time in a long time we've actually seen them play this at a man disadvantage. at least on this T side. Now, Naf is going to go ahead and open up the door here, and that, of course, notifies Seb to his position. But he goes ahead and retreats away, although Seb has kind of heard all of this, and that's now facilitated the rotation out from Stanley up towards A.
Well, they just want to get one more pick before they commit. One player jump over that APC. One player peek that corner. That's all Twist is hoping for. 40 seconds on the clock just now. How long does Liquid hold this before they just have to make the decision and move up? 2 smokes, 1 flashbang, 2 Molotovs, and an HE. Decent amount of nades to make this work, but likewise, at some point, Ghost is just going to put these smokes down and just start laughing. So now we have Naf. He's going to try and make a distraction over towards the B-bomb site. 1 kill would be huge. Throws the flashes. Look at the rotate. Under 20 seconds left. Ghost Gaming has bid on this so hard, but they just recover in time. They just get back. All 3 players are still going to be here. And there's the peek from Stanley. Ready and waiting, and good kills. That's the round. No matter what Naf does, he might as well just save the weapon. Ghost, it seemed like they were to get pulled off. They make the right call, they stick around, and they're rewarded. Naf going to get 1 kill as a consolation right at the end, so they've done some damage to the economy of Ghost. They can grind this down a little bit, but still stuck on 13 for the moment.
Yeah, Ghost looking to try and make their return here in the second half. Quite late into the second half as well. They have to be careful as the reset is looming here. But it's looming for either side, and for Ghost, that could be their way back into this game. Twist going to be locking down mid with the AWP, and Wardell beats him on the timing. That's a Liege to get picked up early on, and that's a good start for Ghost. And actually, Sabrosa has been allowed to slip past the smoke here. They've been so focused on dealing with Wardell that they've let a man into the back line, and Twist has no idea. Sabrosa now going to go out and emerge from the woodwork, and they're left scratching their heads as to how he's been able to get so far up without getting noticed. So finally, Nitro gets that trade. And now Steel, out from Connected, just going to miss the timing. They double peek into this. You imagine he goes down here. Visa going to pick that up, and now it's just Nitro 1v4. While he's had a couple of good rounds, this is a big ask for the man. He has time, he has utility. He's desperate to try and find some way into a site first.
Gonna have to fight his way in, won't he? Visa over towards Bank. The op on Wardell inside. Actually, no, he's back far. Just picks him right off. It was Nitro's incredible 1 versus 2 that got him started on this the 3-round streak that just ended. Just a round to go. And now Liquid's gonna have to take the pause, the timeout to figure things out, because all of a sudden Ghost defense is looking like no joke. 5 rounds in the first half, now 6 for this one. 6-3 in the half itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a good recovery from Ghost thus far. Of course, you know, the reset now has come in for Liquid. They're left in a bit of an awkward situation. Although they still have that round advantage, they still have a small buffer to try and work with. No need to go for like an unnecessary force here. So the pressure is kind of eased in that regard.
Oh, it's Ghost.
Actually, it's Ghost's timeout.
All right.
I can get behind it. It's a big round. It's an important one, though. They're starting to forge a comeback here in the second half.
Liquid's no slouch on these kind of force-up rounds, though, with some purchased Deagles, some CZs. They can do some damage, so Ghost has got to be cautious. Perhaps why we're seeing this timeout. Long-lasting timeout.
I wonder if it's kind of merged into a
double timeout,
or like a tactical. You know, it starts off as a tactical and then something breaks.
Yeah, no, we all got it. We all understand.
Okay, good. I don't know how tired you are, Jason.
Oh,
you know?
That's my secret. I'm always tired. I'm always
same.
in some other time zone.
That is true. You're on Jason time.
Yeah, my own world.
You were right. Technical. I did
That's
it.
unbelievable that they just did that to us.
Well, you know, I'm coining that term now.
That's a you thing.
Yeah, you know. I have a couple of phrases that only I say.
Spicy, spicy man.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good thing, though.
It is debatable.
Yeah.
What are some other ones? You got spicy, spicy man. You have a technical now.
There's actually so many I can't even think of them.
Just one.
I know that's all we need. Now I've been put on the spot. I don't even know, Jason. You know, it's all eluded me.
Yep, it's all gone wrong.
Still, I mean, you know, we can in the technical. Oh, I almost said the wrong word, but yeah, in the technical, we can kind of speak about the fact now. I'm very hyped up about this Liquid roster.
Okay, why is that?
Just because you know they're
you know
the only
it's about
team.
to change, right?
Yeah, that haven't made a change thus far.
But they're going to.
Well, I mean, I hope they don't.
Okay.
But
why is that?
Because I'm a big fan of this roster. I think this is like a chance for them to start to shine. Although I'm also really hoping that Stewie finds success down in SK now. Because it's kind of been really weird to see SK look so fragile, right?
Well, the funny thing is, just looking at it, Cloud9 just lost their first map against SK, 16-6. Or Cloud9 won, excuse me. SK.
I was gonna say, yeah, no, they did. They just won, and I think they even have Skadoodle subbing in, and I recall he was doing really well last time I checked.
Yeah, not bad. So that's always fun to watch how these roster changes are going to do early on, at least. It is still early going.
Who would be the man that you add to Cloud9?
The last player?
Yeah.
I'd look at Yugi.
That's a good. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan of bringing in over someone from EU.
I think that'd be cool. I think Yugi's a pretty cool guy. I think there's a lot of people I would initially reach out about. I would probably reach out about Cirque. I think the one issue I have with Cloud9 picking up, well, maybe not the one, but I think one thing that kind of makes me interested in how they went with Cloud9, because it's a pickup that they haven't really subscribed to in the past, right? Where, you know, when they pick up Stewie, he was an unknown with a lot of potential. When they pick up Automatic, he wasn't considered this highly as he became once he was in Cloud9. Same with Rush had gone to Optic to be a big name. But you know, these are guys that they picked those two up that really got to start on the right track as relative unknowns that they kind of built into these really strong players. And now they're going for kind of a known quantity. I know they've probably been starved and want the in-game leader. I think Tarek's probably tired of doing that role. But I would like to see them go out and get a younger player once again and see what they've got. I mean, there's a lot of unlocked potential in the NA scene, I think.
Yeah. I mean, how crazy would it be if they go ahead and get, like, Exotic? You know, that is as young and fresh as it gets.
Yeah, but again, I think that's too untested for a team where Cloud9, they have, not standards isn't the right word, but they have accomplishments, right? So they have, like, a bar that's been set. And I think if you go too low, you sacrifice a lot of that kind of, a lot of the goals that you've set yourself to be like one of the most dominant teams in North America, to be competing with Europeans. You take a really big step back, and I don't think they're at that point yet. That core of Tarek, Rush, and Automatic can still do a lot of damage, so you pick up some players who have a bit more experience. I think it would have been cool. I don't think this was likely in any way, but I think the obvious one in NA would have been to go look at Cirque at NRG. I doubt they would be able to give him up, which is why I think that's an unplausible thing, but that would have been interesting.
I mean, I was big on the Nifty hype train. I really.
A lot of people were. I was actually not one of them, oddly enough.
Oh, really? Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't want to actually see him out of Renegades. It was kind of like a double-ended sword for me. Like, it would have been great to see him in C9, but also I love him in Renegades, so...
Well, that Renegades team is just playing well enough to where it would almost feel so unfair to them to finally have a pretty dangerous team and then get it ripped out of their hands.
And then that whole, like, farming discussion over in NA would become that much deeper, right? But, yeah, no, I mean, still, I'm excited to see who that mystery fifth is. But into this game anyway, 12-13 now, and Bai comes in for Liquid. They've got AKs across the board. And decent utility to go behind. No AWPs there to counteract the likes of Wardell, and he's kind of been tearing them apart in these last few rounds. I do like how Ghost kind of acknowledged that Wardell is a bit of a powerhouse, and they're very keen to put him in positions early on to find that man advantage. They're not playing very scared.
No, they're not, and in fact Wardell was pushed all the way towards the end of Long A, peering in towards Playground. Didn't see anything. And now Liquid going to go for this B hit. Flashbang over for his teammates in Monster. That's Elige providing the support. Stanley is going to get blocked off by, I think that might have been his own smoke, and he's just going to try and hold down behind this bomb site. A wall of smokes are put up. There's the peek from Stanley. Over-aggressive, I think overextended, certainly. Subrosa's the next one up. He's going to come through the same smoke, and he's got no one looking his way. He somehow snuck into this position. The bomb is down, though. Actually, one player's watching it now. He's been spotted. Elige is dinked. He can't take that fight, but the knowledge is power. And Subrosa is held at bay. A slow-paced retake, hoping this boost is going to do something. Molotovs and nades all over the place. Twist turning from potential flashbang, but Naf is getting all the kills. And quickly, it's down to just Visa. 1 versus 3. He's got nowhere to go as players come through Monster. Elige to finish off the round with a double kill. And Liquid get up to 14.
And it's a bit of an awkward spot now for Ghost. Almost one of those ones that you know, there's not really, you kind of say this a lot, Jason, there's not really like a right decision to make. You know, they could have gone for a partial buy there and then tried to win the last 3 with a strong one, or they could go for the Force. And they've elected to go for the Force here. And it's not that bad a buy, all things considered. Wardell has the AWP. I think that's kind of the critical point for them. There you go. He's been able to find something early on. That's what they want. He's able to escape as well. So that is perfect for Ghost. That is the exact start they needed.
Look at the damage he's done to Elige as well. I don't know if that was doubled up or a follow-up shot or maybe some kind of a nade, but Twist's at 11 HP. Man down and almost essentially 2 men down. They're just going to come right through the smoke. Look at Subroza, no idea what's coming. There's the equalizer. Subroza and all the confusion and all the craziness early on gets abandoned, and Wardell's looking for that exact play. That's the bomb down. They've got to go get it, and Wardell thankfully is not re-peeking, not holding the bomb. It was the low HP player, so not the worst outcome in the world for Liquid. They miss out on someone who might not have been able to provide a whole lot depending on the situation. Looks like Liquid is going to leave Elige out towards long A. Rotate Steel and Nitro back towards B, so at some point Elige is going to throw the fake. Unfortunately for Liquid, with 4 players alive, Ghost can have 2 at A, 2 at B. They don't necessarily have to move anyone, and actually Seb's going to get an early spot here. They're crossing over, not even peeking at missed shots though. He's got to find this kill, and he does. That's the bomb. That means Steel has to go back for it, and they know exactly what's coming. Steel now needs to chase this down. Seb not looking in this direction, gets dropped. 30 seconds left. Liquid can still make this work, but they're committed to the B bomb site. Elige coming up Sandbag's turn from the flash. Liquid's to clear to the left, and a great shot by Wardell. Still doing work. Steel now in the open finds him. One more in the site, but not ready for it. Stanley patiently waiting the whole time. And the force-up works for Ghost Gaming. They almost have things equalized, and they might have the chance to do it here. I don't think Liquid can buy. That would be so risky if Liquid invested into this round. Maybe like a half buy on a couple players, maybe some upgraded pistols.
And just look at Wardell right now, 33 kills to his name. And that round there, such an important round for Ghost to pick up, and they managed to get it done almost entirely on the back of him. So this time, Liquid going to go in for a fast play in towards this B bomb site. They go charging in with just the pistols. Wardell is here. Misses that first shot, and the second, and now Elige's going to wrap around and find him. And this round,
not like this.
Yeah, not one that Ghost wanted to give up. This is heartbreaking if this is how it all goes down for them. So Bros are going to fall to Elige. Now it's Visa 1v4. He has to go ahead and save, and just like that, Liquid will reach map point here on Overpass. 15-13, with just some pistols and a buy that was cobbled together. They managed to find success. And Ghost, they are going to be devastated. This is kind of a moment where they have to kind of stew in it, as well as Visa looks to try and save, and he doesn't even get away with that. So there's no opportunity for them to buy into this last round. I mean, I have any rifles at least.
Upgraded pistols, no armor, and a couple flashbangs on Nitro thrown from Monster. All the attention of Ghost is over towards Monster, and a couple missed shots. You talked about the great game that Wardell's had. He gets 0 kills, takes 2 shots. If he had hit just one of them, that would have at least bought himself time to kind of readjust and get a cleaner shot on the follow-up. Maybe the M4s could have gotten into a better position to react. But those pistols, once they're close to that pillar, they just swarm around it, and now it's Ghost on the back foot. A FAMAS, a UMP, and all pistols on the other 3. Wardell's going to be pushing upstairs, see what he can find, and I think he's just forced away, didn't like what he saw. Liquid taking this very slow and cautious. Don't want to get caught out by anything. 3 players for Ghost in those short sewers. Stanley at the B bomb site, and Wardell on his own with the CZ in bathrooms.
Actually, Seb's able to open up, but he slipped on by. Sprouse takes one down with it. This man advantage gained, and now Wardell, that would have been a huge kill to find. Visa, through the door, going to start to chip down a couple more players, and Seb now in with his flank. That's Nitro shut down. The bomb is still down in the open here. They have to try and fight for it, and these pistols, these SMGs, they'll take these fights all day long. Seb's still hanging around as well. They're finally able to pick it up. Now they start to make their way out into middle. Visa's already up at this A bomb site. He has to be a bit faster though, if he wants to try and get into a forward position to catch these players off guard. And they won't be allowed to get the bomb down. Twists though, caught off guard from the bank player. Now it's Steel 1v3. Visa wrapping round. Visa's gonna find it. Second kill in the round for him. Just like that, Ghost Gaming 14-15. They want to try and carry this through to overtime, Jason. Map number 1 of the night. And Ghost, they're showing up right now. Visa's carried the AWP forward as well, so they're going to have that into the next round.
I forget what event it was where I feel like I just had like deja vu, where Team Liquid was in a similar position and then go for an anti-eco, anti-force buy with most of their players fighting in sewers against CZs, and they lost that one as well. I want to say it was against FaZe. It might have been Star Ladder, but they've done it again. They go to the staircase and just commit to these fights against the pistols in narrow angles, and the CZs come out on top. Liquid certainly making it difficult on themselves. 15-14. Now Wardell has the AWP back in hand. He's killless these past 2 rounds, as this game has gotten close. But a situation where they can force OT.
Yeah, and even when the odds have been stacked against them, they've been so good at finding success in these rounds. And I mean, Liquid, they're kind of kicking themselves, right? Because early on, it was them stealing rounds from Ghost that were like Ghost rounds to win. And now, at the kind of most crucial stage in the game for Liquid, the tables have turned. And while Sebi's boosted up, peeking into connector here, players coming out from behind, and they have to be kind of careful. You're very open to this position, and Seb has his work cut out for him, but actually they completely bypass him. They all go pushing in through long. And right now, there's actually no one inside of that B bomb site, so Liquid, they've got it for free. It's going to be a 5-on-5 retake to decide which way this map goes. What a scenario to be in. Elige comes peeking out, he shuts down Seb. Man advantage taken for Liquid in the retake. Sabrosa, he's found over at short. Twist going to take that all day long, and now it is just the players that are up on A. This spray from Stanley finally picks things up, and all 3 players retake it from heaven. This is anything but ideal. Stanley finally going to get traded out. Wardell falls as well, and now it's Visa 1v4. Elige in with the triple at the end, and Liquid, they will manage to win it out here on Overpass. 16-14, it goes the distance, a full 30 rounds, but they get it done in the end.
Yeah, Wardell was a beast, but overall, I can't imagine a team in the professional scene that's going to say, we're up 15-14, and on the last round of regulation, we get given a bomb site for free for a 5-on-5 plant. They're going to love that. They'll take it to the bank every single day. And Liquid, with that kind of a gift, they do win the opening map. So we're going to head to a break. When we return, we're going to hear from the desk, and then we'll move on to the second map in the set.
Incendiary out.